I just wanted to share with you guys some things I've picked up within the last year-ish in quarantine. So while in quarantine, I've been picking up a new hobby, been collecting plants, caring for plants. I have one here, some in the back, I have more in the front, which you guys will see in the future. But what I've realized while collecting these plants is that people are like plants. 2020 into 2021 has been such a huge growth period for me, and while growing myself, I realized that, plants grow the same way we do. We have the same necessities. I mean, we both need sun, we both need water, vitamin D maybe. But overall, we both grow as living, breathing beings. So here are some life lessons and advice that I've taken from my plants. Let's go! Number 1, plants need time to grow. Patience, patience, patience is key. You won't have a flowering plant the day you planted seed, and you can't expect returns in the very beginning of your journey. But with consistent care, growth is inevitable. Like plants, we need to be patient with ourselves. Nothing good comes when we are rushed. The reality of self-growth is that it takes time. Nothing happens the night of, nothing happens within a day. And so as we put in the practice, as we consistently care for ourselves, as we learn and grow, we will slowly but surely inch towards the direction that we want to be in. Number 2, don't overwater yourself. Overwatering is obviously one of the biggest reasons why plants die. Like when the roots sit in water for too long, boom, root rot, right? That goes the same for us. We can't overwork ourselves. When we're growing through very immense periods of growth or ambitious periods, we tend to go full force and give ourselves more than we can handle. We tend to take more on our plate, and in the end, we don't consume everything, or it's a little too much for us. So what can we do?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Chill and relax. Understand what it is you can handle and take it one watering and workload at a time. Reevaluate what it is you yourself can do, and be patient. It's totally okay if you can only do one thing at a time. If the other person is doing, let's say, like 2 tasks and they're multitasking, that's them. Understand what you can handle. Don't put too much on your plate where you are overworking yourself, and at the end, you're gonna be drained. Check in to see if you're ready to move on to more projects or to the next step before you add loads more. Number 3, each plant has a different requirement to grow. Just like a cactus differs from a rose or a flower, they have different requirements and different necessities, whether that be different moisture levels, different mixtures of soil, different watering schedules, different amounts of light, whether that be like low light, bright light. Each plant has its own place where they thrive, and so do we. We gotta understand that we can't be comparing ourselves to the person next to us, because we have our own needs as well. Different people operate differently. Maybe you thrive in an office environment while another person thrives better at home or doing art. We all are on our different paths and journeys, and it's just best if we just focus on ourselves and focus on what we need. Just because something works for you doesn't necessarily mean that it works for someone else as well. Or just because someone else is having it better right now, or just because someone is making it in life doesn't mean that you should be there as well. Life is so beautiful and unique, and it works differently for everyone, and I think that's crazy, but it's also amazing. So be kind to yourself and don't compare yourself too much to the person next to you. Like, for real, you're exactly where you need to be. Stop comparing. You're amazing. You're doing great. Number 4, plants need sunlight. I don't care what plant it is, I don't care where you got it, your plant needs light. But in our case, we need to figure out the light in our lives. Are we surrounding ourselves with the right people? Are we surrounding ourselves with people that uplift us when things get cloudier? And on the flip side, plants also grow in the dark. You guys realize that sunflowers grow in the dark too, right? It's gonna be really easy to ride through the highs, but when it's the lows, it's gonna be a little more difficult. We're gonna be in those slumps for a while, but realize that those dips and those pitfalls are all part of the growing process. It's not always gonna be an upward exponential growth all the time. And as Eckhart Tolle said in The Power of Now, Growth is usually positive, but nothing can grow forever. If growth of whatever kind were to go on and on, it would eventually become monstrous and destructive. Dissolution is needed for new growth to happen. Number 5, repot your plants when they outgrow the pot. Eventually, growing leads to outgrowing, and plants outgrow their pots all the time. You'll have to replace it, put it in a bigger pot, cut out the leaves, and maybe even change up the soil for it to grow better. And the same goes for us. Sometimes we outgrow our pots, and maybe we're maturing, moving on with our lives, or maybe we're just situated in a higher vibration where we don't resonate with the same people that are in our circles. And that is totally okay. There are going to be people that are going to grow with you. Some people will be there to just support you. And then there's going to be other people who don't like the change too much. Some people will be threatened and feel as though, oh, she's changed. She's kind of like doing different things now and I don't like it. Well, that's the reality of things. When you're growing, people are more used to what they're comfortable with and are scared of the unknown. Who is this girl turning into? What is she doing with her life? She's not the same person I used to know. So here's where the housekeeping comes in. Sometimes we need to change our pot. Sometimes we need to cut off the dead leaves, or in our case, cut off the dead weight that's holding you back. When we cut off the dead leaves, the plants are able to focus their energy on the healthy green leaves that are actually thriving. So when we cut off our own dead weight, we're able to just focus that energy, take it from the negative, and focus it on better things in our lives that are going to benefit us. And number 6, plants don't need to be dissatisfied to grow. Plants don't need to feel unhappy or dissatisfied in order to keep on growing. Like, look at how nature works. It gets things accomplished and done without being dissatisfied. Does a plant feel like it needs to change in order to grow? No. Does it feel like something's wrong with itself in order to change itself and grow? No. We can come from places of content, secureness, and satisfaction and still want to be our best selves and push to be better. Self-love and inner peace is what motivates us to be our best selves. So don't think that you need to be in a rut in order to want to make a change. There is always room for inner growth within. Plants may look different from us, but I mean, we're a lot similar than we think, and we can learn a lot from these living, breathing things. Like whenever you need a reminder to just be persistent, patient, or just take it easy, just look to your plant. Do it right now. Look at your plant in your room and just look at it, because damn, you're doing a pretty damn good job setting this example. So be kind to yourselves and let's grow together. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!